Good morning. Welcome to continuation of Tally Ho, World War I Wing Commander. These are continued playtests. This morning I spent much time rewriting the rules, reorganizing the rules before Dell takes that text and starts adding the art to the book. So let's go ahead and so for playtest purposes, I'm not following the book's campaign. I don't want to spoil much of the campaign. So I'm making my own playtest stuff. So Tally Ho, this is playtest for April 1st, April Fools, and by no means is this an April Fool's joke. I'm dead serious about this game, Tally Ho, World War I Wing Commander. It is July 12, 1916. I'm the Wing Commander of the 12th Allied Flight Group, Winged Raiders. We have only 6 pilots, but they are all from Allied forces. We have John Story of the United Kingdom, Henri Lefebvre of France, Emile Jean Pierre of Canada, Andy Jackson of the United States, Charles Doolittle of the UK, and Anthony Vincetti of Italy. Men from all over the world would come to join this fight, many of them grouping together in Allied flight groups, and that is what we represent here today. My best pilot is John Story of the UK, 4 experience, 11 pilot rating. Remember, the pilot rating is your defense score. It just allows you to dodge damage, right? So this is not, dodge stress, which of course affects your experience, which ultimately leads to your downfall. We do not have any newbies in this group. This is a small group, the Winged Raiders. Our current aircraft are the Newport 11. These are the most, these aircraft were the most common in 1916. When the Newport 17 hit, it changed the direction of the war. So the Newport 17 was a very solid aircraft, and I rolled up all of these aircraft on the chart. So they aren't named. I named them after I rolled them up, and I named them based on their quality. So because I know in history the Newport 17 changed the course of the war. When I rolled up, these were, by the way, number 8 on the charts. That's why I have so many, because 8 is going to be your highest roll. So we have some pretty solid. They can dogfight at 3.5. They can do mapping, spotting, bombing, strafing on a 10. So I have my 6 pilots and I have my 6 aircraft. And now and by the way, those with are our scramble duty guys. So when we are under attack, they are the pilots who scramble, and these are the birds they take to the air with when there is a scramble. But it's our day 1, Northern France, Battle of the Somme, July 1916. We are charged. We get the call to go up and help the boys spot to soften for the next charge over the top. Artillery spotting. So we need to go up. And here is, again, there are 10 missions in the book. They describe what you do. They describe what they're worth, how long they must last, and they give you the enemy units that you will face. So we are going to be taken to the air, and I'm going to select my pilots. So I'm going to definitely want, for spotting, we're going to need the ground aircraft that are the best. So we're going to put the Newport 11. So I'm going to put, for this first mission, 5 turns. Oh, man, I'm going to put Story. I got to have my lead guy. So Story in the Newport 11, in 11, right? I'm going to have, let's see here. Let's use Jackson, the American, and he'll be in our N-17. I'm going to say this is the N-17A because it's lesser. This would be N-17B, C, and D, just to keep things straight. I'm going to send up in the Sopwith Strutter, which is a really good dogfight aircraft. We're going to put up the Sopwith Camel dogfighter. I really like Jackson for that pilot rating, though. No, I need to spot. We're spotting, so I need these guys. So I want the guys that spot well, right? Sopwith Strutter, we're going to put, I'm going to let Doolittle, I'm going to let the Italian represent. Vincente in the N-17D. So Jackson is in the N-17A. Newport is in the Newburgh 11, Newburgh 17A, Vincetti in the 3. And should I put up? There's quite a few. We need to target the artillery, right? So, and we're going to be dealing with infantry shooting at us, and the 3 planes protecting it, and a balloon. So we better put up a 4th. I think we're going to put up a 4th. Artillery spot. No, we're going to go with 3. So there are my men. So he's in the 9-11. So what I need to put down here is Story is a 4. His defense is just a simple 11. And he does 4, 8, 9. So I need 8 9s for him to spot. And you'll see how the game works rule-wise. Jackson's going up. What's Jackson's defense? Jackson is a 4-10. Yeah, so he's got great defense. He can avoid both ground fire and air-to-air combat. And he is in the N-17A, which is a pretty good spotter. Again, 2-3, good dogfighter. And 11-12 spotter. By the way, Jackson is a 2 experience. And Vincente, 2 experience. And he is a 10 defense. And his ship, his aircraft is 3-5. Oh, wait a second. I put the N11 is 8 in the ground. Wow. Dogfight. Okay, make sure I get this right. 17A. Oh, yeah, it's that 10. We need that 10-11 to spot. And then Vincente in the D is 10 for spotting. So remember, 2 through 5 is dogfighting air-to-air. Ground for bombing, mapping, spotting, strafing are your attack numbers. Okay, so here we go, folks. And we only have 5 turns to get the job done, or to at least survive. Turn 1. All right, here we go. We go to the air. Story is our leader. He's giving, and we are flying low or high, trying to spot for artillery, and we're using wireless transmitters to send back positions for our artillery. First roll, first turn, as we come in. 10. That's a spot, baby. We're going to score a spot. 10. So for them, they're going to have an infantry actually cause stress. So again, we look at the number 10. Is it in the range of the enemy for attack? It is. So infantry are firing on us as we fly. So that's going to cause 1 point of damage. I rolled a 10. So we know defense-wise, Vincetti cannot suffer this. They always go after the hardest target first. That is, and hard target is known by your experience/stress. So the hard target is Story. He does not defend himself. So Story, and again, both only, let's see here, both Vicente and Jackson. Oh, no, just Vicente. So Vicente spots artillery, right? So that's an actual hit against the artillery. They're down to, so instead of it being damage, it's a spot. You need 4. So instead of it being damage, we've seen one of the artillery, right? But Story is stressed by the infantry. So they turn their machine guns to the air or their rifles to the air, and Story is stressed by the infantry, and Story is now down to 3. Turn 2, but we have spotted once. Turn 2. Remember the game, what makes this such an effective game for mass combat, etc., is 1 roll, and the entire battlefield is simulated for us abstractly, which makes for great fun. All right, here we go. It's 5. Uh-oh. 5 isn't going to be good for us except for damage. Damn it. Okay, so what's going to happen on 5? What does this tell us? So 5, we look over here at the enemy. One of their planes will engage in a dogfight, and their balloon, we will suffer damage from a balloon. So we're going to see 2 of our targets, and we don't have any defense numbers of 5. So all of my planes, well, not all, they had 2 hits. So 5 and 5. So plane B, and again, they attacked the top guy. Story suffers stress from plane B and balloon. Damn, Story's in trouble. He just took 2 more. He is stressed. He's down to 1. However, dogfighting, we rolled a 5. So dogfight, Story does not do damage. Jackson does not do damage. But Vincenti getting the job done. Vincenti will cause 1, and we're going to shoot down plane. What's their defense? Oh, his defense is 5. We can't shoot him down. Oh, but we do get to harm another. Dang it, the 1 plane he could have shot down has the defense. So this is a dogfight. So plane B gets on Story's tail, lights Story up. Vincenti cuts in and is trying to push plane B off. He's in the dogfight. Plane B avoids him. So he turns his machine guns on the balloon for 2. Vincenti damages the balloon down to 1. Folks, already 2 turns away. We've got Story on the verge of being shot down. And we have only seen 1 artillery. Turn 3. It's getting hairy. 9. Oh, that's the infantry getting shots off again, isn't it? Yep, the infantry is doing damage. And again, they will target first the strongest. Then they will target the most damaged. Then they will target same as before. The artillery will not change their mind. They're shooting on Story. There's no reason they would stop shooting on Story. So that's how what's called the target determination rule works, right? So it walks you through who they would target. And it would be same as before, basically. There'll be no reason narratively for them to not shoot at Story, right? So Story's on fire. They see this, and, they might continue to shoot. Because Story's was already lit up, and now he's been lit up, and he's actually been flown through a balloon, which tears up the wings. So balloons were designed high above the battlefield. They would hang, lines, and those lines would tear up your canvas wings, etc., among other things. So the balloons were unmanned generally. They were there to tear up planes, to make planes avoid. So if you were driven into one, you would suffer some damage. So Story's definitely going to go down here. So 9, but is Story got a defensive 9? He does not. Does Jackson have a defensive 9? He does not. Does Vincenti have a defensive 9? He does not. So it'll be Story going down. So Story is shot down in God's hands. ... And that will make that roll in a little bit, right? Okay, so we rolled a 9. Do any of our guys cause damage? Yes, Story. Remember, it's simultaneously. Story spots Art. That's awesome. That's down to 2. And 11 and 9, no. And 10, no. So Vincenti, nobody does damage, nobody spots. But Story, as he's shot down, is able to call in. So basically, you can imagine he flies low, trying to spot that second artillery. And as he does, infantry shoots him down. But he does manage to spot a second artillery. That's amazing. So Story will achieve. Remember, it's all simultaneous. Story is not eliminated until his turn is over. Turn 4. 2. Oh my God, there's a lot of damage flying. Oh shit. 2 is the most dangerous roll in a dogfight. Everybody scores on 2, and nobody defends on 2, hardly. So 2 means a very ugly dogfight has occurred above the battlefield. Folks, there's going to be some dead people here. Story's already down, so we ignore Story. But 2, anybody have a defensive 2? No. Any defensive 2 over here? No. Damn. Okay, so first up, let's go ahead and do the enemy again. So plane A is going to hit a target. No defensive 2. That's going to be Jackson. So we're going to have Jackson stressed by plane A. Wow. Oh, look, plane B did not score. Son of a gun. Plane C. Again, they go with the highest, or you go with the highest aggro, which is the highest experience. He's been shot down. So we go with the highest, or we go with the damaged, or we go with the same as before. So this would be Jackson. So Jackson's going to be shot down here. Jackson shot down by plane C. And Vincenti, I told you, you don't want to roll twos. Vincenti stressed by balloon. Damn. And Vincenti's our last guy standing. But we're going to do damage. So, again, we have, and I can choose my targets. So, Jackson, does he do damage? He does. Oh, I only have one guy who can do damage. Man, we were in trouble here. So, Jackson will do damage. And he's going to shoot down plane B. Jackson will get a kill on his way down. Jackson shoots down plane B. So we get a kill. Turn 5. Now remember, I can right now head home. I can abort. So the rules state if you've completed 3 complete turns, you are free to abort. But if you abort, you'll get no campaign points, no matter how well you did. Do I give it one more roll? If I could survive, if Vincenti could survive one more roll, we would get back. I would survive and get back, and I would score the campaign points. I almost feel like I have to abort. Vincenti has 1. They can do damage on 2 through 5, 9, and through 11. So that would have to roll a 6, 7, 8 to avoid damage. Can I roll a 6, 7, or 8? So, all right, our hero. But let's look. If I roll a 6, 7, or 8, he would achieve nothing. So if I roll 6, 7, or 8, however, my goal is just to survive to score the 2 campaign points, even though we only spotted 2 artillery. You'll still score the points if you survive, even if I don't hit all 4, right? So I need a 6, 7, or 8 to fly back to actually complete the mission. Yeah, we're going to chance it. This could be a devastating mission for us. And 6, hallelujah, we're going to survive. 6, nobody's going to be damaged here. Nobody's going to suffer damage. Vincenti returns to HQ. Whew! So we're going to make it. So let's go ahead and look in God's hands. You can see all the good data here. Where's in God's hands chart? There it is. All right. So first, let's set story. Story was 1. Oh, Story was killed in action. Dang. Jackson 2 killed in action. Damn. KIA. And we lose our N11 losses. This will be right here. Mission losses. Losses. I'm trying to make sure I do this right. Wow. Our N11 and our Jax was in the N-17A. Shit, that was one of our best planes. But mission successful. CP2. So we earned 2 CP points, and that's our mission for today. There it is, folks. So let's go over this. What happened? Let's go down into the mission. Well, hell, I don't know where that's at. So let's go back up. All right, Tally-Ho. There's the introduction. Okay. Tally-Ho, Wing Commander, World War II Wing Commander, playtest results April 1st, July 12, 1916. I am the Wing Commander of the 12th Allied Flight Group Winged Raiders. Our first mission, day 1, Northern France, Battle of Somme, one of the most horrific battles in World War I was nothing but horrific, truly, on the ground. They want us to spot artillery so they can soften up before they send the boys over the top. So it was so important. It was a very important mission because you want to pound those machine gun nests, etc., and spot for the artillery. So we are spotting for the artillery to soften up machine gun playtests, right? So we're not looking for their artillery so much as we are spotting so artillery is more accurate. Twice we were accurate, which I think would ultimately soften them up a little bit. It'd be nice if we got all 4, but we didn't. So Story went up in the Newport 11 as our main man. Story was our main pilot. They turned on him. Vincetti spots artillery, so that's good. Story is stressed by infantry fire. Turn 2, Story suffers stress from plane B and from a balloon. He's driven into a balloon and suffers more damage. Vincetti damages the balloon, which is good. Turn 3, Story is shot down and is in God's hands. Story spots artillery, or spots, I should just say spots, not spots, artillery spots 4. Where are we at here? Spots 4 artillery. Spots FA. Doing, again, a second, so we only needed 2 more to completely hammer everything. Jackson stressed by plane. Jackson shot down by plane C. And Vincetti stressed by balloon. Jackson shoots down plane B, so Jackson gets a kill. And Vincetti returns home to HQ. And remember, as the player, you get to choose what you spot or what you damage when you roll the range. However, the enemies are dictated by a turn determination, target determination rules. So, losses. Story killed in action. Jackson killed in action. Earned a kill. And we lost the N11, Newport 11, and a Newport 17A. But the mission was successful. We earned 2 campaign points. And remember, I cannot recruit. Now, if I'm playing the campaign, I can't recruit until the end of the month. However, I'm not doing a campaign. These are playtests, so I'll probably do a recruiting roll before my next session. So I'll roll for 1 replacement pilot, and I'll roll for 1 aircraft. And then, so I'll try to, I won't replace both pilots, but I'm going to roll to recruit and get a new aircraft. So this is SD and my 17 SD, and that would be shot down, right? And unfortunately, KIA, and we lost Jackson. We lost the American. So we lost our leader and we lost the American KIA. But we managed to soften up before they go over the top. It's my tally-ho doc. Yep, there we go. Okay, so there's my tally-ho doc for playtest, and it worked great. Unfortunately, they were just too much, right? And I told you the game is difficult to win, so the whole point is to survive an entire year as the Wing Commander. That's 48 missions. And so you can see just a mission doing artillery spotting wiped out 2 of my pilots. Normally, you're going to go up with 1 to 6 pilots. So you have a choice whether you send up 1 or you send up 6, but you have to gauge it because pilots can't. So for instance, Vincetti cannot go again next turn. So now that he's home safe, I would make what's called a scramble check. So after every mission, you make a scramble check. And if you roll a 7, that means we're going to defense mode. 6. Woo! Scramble alert. 6. Clear. So we survived. So then mission 2, of course, you would follow the mission numbers in the campaign. But again, this is a playtest, so I'm kind of making up my little diary as I go. But again, you could do this. I mean, you could just have your own allied flight group and just pick missions from the book and write your little story around that if you're into the history of it. So this is a way. Again, I do not attempt to put in real pilots or real aircraft or real areas, right? I leave that to those of you who are serious historians who want to kind of research your own tour of duty. So the book, again, is generalized, so you can just enjoy being the Wing Commander for a tour of duty in 1917. This one I set up at 1916, which meant I wanted to use biplanes that were the most common of that time. As I rolled them up, because the Newport 17 was such a valuable upgrade, I wanted those planes that came out that rolled that ended up with a pretty good score. I would argue the best plane here depends if you want probably the Newport 17A because it could dogfight decent and it could ground spot. The Sopwith though Strutter definitely the dogfighter of the group, best for defense. And then these all three looked really well. That would be 17Bs because they have decent dogfighting and they can ground target. So unfortunately we lost two big pilots. We lost 2 aircraft. We did succeed because we survived this. All you got to do is survive the 7 turns. The actual target spotting is just for narrative. This just tells us narratively that at least we helped the artillery knock out 2 machine gun nests. However, there's going to be still 2 nests standing, and we know there's 4 because it's stated in the mission that there were 4. So those could have been artillery nests, machine gun nests, whatever the case may be. We needed to spot 4. We spotted 2, so we at least cut it in half. You can imagine maybe that helped the guys going over the top on the next whistle, right? When they blow that whistle, they go up over the top, and it was the stupidest war I think I've ever seen in my life. But as far as technology outweighing tactics, this was an example of the technology of machine guns and of biological chemical warfare, hiding in trenches and then just climbing up and running across open field. It was just asinine. It was and all for land, all for just yards of land. It was in my opinion, World War I was complete madness, total. And I think most war is madness, but I think some wars are fought for the right reasons. And World War I just appeared to be mass insanity in many ways. That's my humble opinion. I'm not a historian. I'm sure there were some people who would tell you there were these reasons, but Lord, it was bad. All right, so Story shot down and Jackson shot down. He did earn a kill though, fortunately for us. And there you go, folks. That's Tally Ho Wing Commander. Again, I did a first video just doing a world debut using Dawn Patrol mission from the campaign book. Today I wanted to set up my own little thing and show you can also just play. Just grab and tell your own story and grab it. And you can even set your own campaign winning, right? This tour of duty might only be 6 months, and I might set a limit saying, hey, I need to earn 18 CP to win, right? Well, I've earned 2 CP. And for me to get to 18, boy, I'm going to have to do a lot of missions in that 6 months, right? So this was just day 1. And again, we might have an afternoon. We might go out day 2. In the book, I don't define whether it's a day or a week or whatever, because I don't want to get into the details of putting in dates, right? I want to leave it kind of for people to just play. So here, though, I'm willing to get into some of that highlights for history. All right, everybody, have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.